Visit to Nnamdi Kanu in prison 24 hours after he got sentenced will shock you. Lawyers voice out in details. All right, the lawyers to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Aloy Jimako and Opera has spoken swiftly and very, very tough. In fact, the lawyer Opera in particular wasn't in his good look at all. Why coming out of the DSS, according to information and from the sources who revealed this information. Yes, they said that yes, the IPOP leader was visited. Um, he was visited and they granted them the access to meet him as they demanded earlier. Though the state, the IPOP leader, according to them, is at the moment is not an encouraging one. The new and detention is not actually the one it used to be, but this very one, according to them, is nothing to write home about. Hmm. This is crazy. As you can see on your screen, yes, the sentence is a life sentence, and the location of the correctional facility is nothing to write home about. So you can now see what a life sentence to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is currently causing him in detention. So let's start with the very first one: how to appeal the life sentence. How we appeal the life sentence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Well, according to the information, the prosecuting lawyer came together to issue a judgment. Our lawyer, Jamako, who happens to be the lead counsel, made a statement which will give us more light and shed more light to the path and the route where all of these things follows. The verdict and the sentence today will not stand. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. Yes, and it's not. We all know who the real terrorists are, lawyer said. Well, luckily, the American knows them too. Yes, so from this very tweet, we can all know that all of these things are headed to the federal government side. Now, before we begin this very appeal, there are some things we all need to know. Yes, and these things is that Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all 7 counts brought before the federal government. One is the breakdown of this sentence is life imprisonment on count 1, 4, 5, and 6, 20 years on count 3, 5 years on count 7. Have you seen that? So he was sent to life imprisonment for four different charges, which is now the fourth and fifth and the sixth count charges. He was sentenced in 20 years imprisonment for count 3 and he was given 5 years imprisonment on count 7. So as you can clearly see, this guy received three different sentences: a life sentence, a 20 years sentence, and 5 years sentence, which all of these things will run concurrently. What do you mean? It means say all these different charges and we and sentence will run simultaneously. So now, if they want to appeal this case, they will need to understand how they pass the judgment. So that is now according to the council of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it means that the 20 years and 5 years, making it 25 years accumulatively. Yes, so he needs to appeal all of these seven things concurrently and together. Meanwhile, the court also ordered that Kanu will be held in a protective custody. We'll come back to that particular statement to get you enlightened on what they mean by that. Hmm. It's very, very important to know that because justice did yesterday, nobody actually saw the politics played. How will Aloy Ejimako appeal this case? Will also look into this and identify some certain steps that Ejimako will really need to take to get this appeal done. Yes. He needs to know which and which one the faulty carry actually need to carry into appeal. By so doing, the appellant, which is the loyal person, will now give a listening ear to that which Aloy Ejimako will be presenting as a case to appeal onto. They must fight this very fight in accordance and make sure that all of these charges are appealed and well presented. If not, they will not be properly defended. Yes. Now, see, with these evidences presented, it proves that the IPOP leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, even before the judgment, got himself prepared, but luck was completely against him. But was it ever his fault? No. Politics set in, and he was denied the genuine freedom. Yeah, assuming if Aloy and Max show interest in the next coming days and today inclusive, hope you guys are paying attention, my dear listeners. Uh-huh. So, if these two lawyers develop interest and and demand that the IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu should step down and allow them to be his counsel, will Nnamdi Kanu really give them the opportunity? Well, that very answer to that question is another thing to answer in some other time, because at the moment the IPOP leader is not in a very comfortable or welcoming state. Now, what Aloy should be thinking about first is how to appeal this case, the route to follow, and the document to submit before this is done. Now, I want to put you guys accurately on the facilities where the IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu is kept at the moment, for you to know that the facility where he is kept is very different from where he used to be. Shown previously on your screen was um, the directive to where Nnamdi Kanu is kept is just like an isolated environment where only just few prisoners are kept. There they will be until um, they either until they pass out or be given a death by hanging. The IPOP leader is currently kept in an isolated environment, an isolated place where only few people can either see him and give him an attention. Well, this is very, very unacceptable. Say Aloy Ejimako. And what he is now calling upon the federal government to do is that he is saying the federal government must understand that protective custody, which actually means keeping someone in a secure, controlled detention environment, primarily for their safety, not punishment, is not what is currently seen right now. Now, in the context of Nnamdi Kanu's sentencing, the judge ordered that he should not be kept in the general prison population, but instead in a special, isolated, highly monitored facility. The reason, according to them, usually um, include some evidences which they claim is beyond their path. If they say something is beyond them, so why are they now demanding that it should be kept in such a place? You can see that this country is not accurate in all of their dealings and in all of their actions. So I must say at this point that what protective custody are they actually looking at? Now, on your screen, you can see what they mean by a protective custody. They say a protected custody look like a separate cell or separate building, restricted movement, limited visitors. You can see, imagine, just like I showed you on the screen, you only see few people. You see, few people. So that is to tell you, if we are having few people in a custody, it means that it's going to be very easy for that very person to be easily executed or killed. So I think the federal government should reconsider this very action. Now we have on your screen again maximum security prison, which is currently maximum security prison, which is in Lagos. It's a well-known supermax prison in Nigeria. Federal maximum security prison, Nnewi, very high security facility. Then we have also in Meduguri a maximum security prison. My dear people, I will not lie to you. Places like this, according to me, should even be well accepted than this very isolated one they are planning to leave Nnamdi Kanu on. Because this is the politics they want to play to get Nnamdi Kanu killed and assassinated, which cannot be even accepted. So, if you ask me, I will say that the federal government are playing politics which they cannot be able to finish. Please help share this video, let it go viral, let everyone have a duplicate and copy of it because it is not acceptable and can never be acceptable anywhere. All right, thank you.